I think Georgia and Alabama are on a collision course to meet up again in the SEC championship game in Atlanta. That's going to be on December 3rd. And that's not a hot take. It's not. But here's my take. I think they're both going to be undefeated. And I did a little research, and someone told me this, so let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that two undefeateds have never met up in the SEC championship. Please let me know if I'm wrong, but just on a little bit of research I did, that's what I couldn't find that, and someone else agreed with me. So let me know if I'm wrong, but that's my take, that they're going to be 12-0, both of those teams, when they meet up in Atlanta, that they're going to be number 1 and number 2 in the country, and they're going to be on a collision course again to battle it off. And if that's the case, both of them are going to be in the playoff again. And I'm predicting that as of now. I have not decided who I think my 4th team in the playoff is yet, but I pretty much think Georgia, Alabama, and Ohio State are as close to a sure thing as you can get. There's no sure things in the world, and there's no sure things in sports and football. That's for sure. So I think they'll both be 12-0. That's my take, and I'm sticking with that until I see something otherwise. If something happens in the first couple weeks of the season and I really don't like what I see, then obviously I'm going to come on and tell you I was wrong, and things change. This is my right now prediction. So I don't think I'm the only one that thinks this. I don't believe that I'm the only one that is thinking this way, because these two teams are just both so good. I think they're the two best teams in the country again. I got to see the defensive side of the ball for Ohio State. New defensive coordinator. The defense wasn't great last year. And I think losing Olave and losing Garrett Wilson is going to affect Alabama more than losing Jamison Williams and John Mechie is. So that's kind of where I'm sitting with Ohio State. I still think they're going to win the Big Ten and make the playoff. Ryan Kelly from Dog Post here, talking about the SEC Championship. It's never too early to talk about the SEC Championship, right? It's almost August, and that's in December. Hey, make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION, our Insider Preview Magazine, where I think those two teams are going to play again. I called this a magazine. This is a book. This is the magazine. You get both of them if you buy DAWGSTRUCTION. Links are down below. Make sure you're checking out our TikTok at DogPost. So, I got the schedules pulled up. I've already kind of ran through Georgia's schedule with you guys, so let's focus a little bit more on Alabama's. Just rapid fire. I'm gonna roll through this. Versus Utah, blowout, 1-0. At Texas, I think that's a double-digit win for Alabama, but it is a tough matchup. At Texas is gonna be at 11 a.m. Central Time. It's early in the day, but I think they win 2-0. Louisiana Monroe, 3-0. Vanderbilt, 4-0. At Arkansas. This is their trap game this year, guys. This is the trap game. I think they get out of there, though. I think they get a Fayetteville. 5-0 versus Texas A&M. I think that's a beatdown after all of this nonsense all offseason, after what happened last year, the Jimbo feud with Nick Saban, all of it. Beatdown. That's what I'm saying. 6-0 at Tennessee. Tough game, but they get out of there. 7-0. Versus Mississippi State, 8-0. At LSU, always a tough game, but I think they get out of there. At Ole Miss, I don't think Ole Miss is as good this year as they were last year. That would be 10-0 versus Austin Peay. That is 11-0. And then versus Auburn, it's in Tuscaloosa. I don't know where this Auburn program's at. I don't think they're very good. Now, they may surprise the people and win more games. Then they're predicted to win about 6 games. They may surprise people and go 8-4. I think they range anywhere between 4-8 and 8-4. It's where I have them falling. But ultimately, I think one of their losses is going to be to Alabama. So I think Alabama breezes through this schedule. I think they're better than all these teams. And this is the same way I feel about Georgia. I'm going to say it's a little bit more of a struggle for Georgia than it is for Alabama, because I think Alabama got better than they were last year, and I think Georgia's going to be slightly worse than they were last year. So it's kind of a give and take. Georgia, I think they beat Oregon. I know I've told you guys several times. I think they beat Oregon. They beat Samford 2-0. I don't see them losing to South Carolina. That would be 3-0. I know that some people think that's their trap game, but I still think they win. Versus Kent State, that's 4-0. At Missouri, 5-0. Versus Auburn, at home, not going to be a close game. 6-0. Versus Vanderbilt, 7-0. Versus Florida, they're not going to have a problem. 8-0. Versus Tennessee, their toughest regular season game of the year, I think probably 9-0. At Mississippi State, interesting game, 10-0. at Kentucky. They own Kentucky for the most part, guys. 11-0 versus Georgia Tech. Easy victory for them to end the season as 12-0. So I think we haven't seen it, at least not recently, but I think both of these teams are going to be undefeated when they are hanging out as not so friendly friends on December 3rd. And it's not that hot of a take. It's really not. I mean, I don't come on here and really give you a lot of hot takes, but it's my opinion. We're on a collision course again. Maybe I shouldn't be so headstrong about it. Today was my last day of my internship in Huntsville at a TV station, and I've made friends with some of the people, all the sports people at the TV stations in Huntsville, and they cover Alabama, obviously. And they were making a joke. Oh, well, it was good to meet you, never see you again. And I was like, well, I'll see you in Atlanta on December 3rd, because guess what? I think Georgia and Alabama are going to win the national championship. And none of them batted an eye because they agree with me. Now, that doesn't make me some sort of genius or anything. It doesn't make me right. I think I'm going to be right. But they're the two best teams in college football again, guys. And I think they're going to play for the SEC championship, and they could play for the national championship again. That wouldn't be crazy. It wouldn't be crazy. I'm serious. Watch out for that. People would implode. People would hate it, but other people would love it. I want the two best teams to play. If it's going to be Georgia and Alabama, then let it be Georgia and Alabama. As far as a college football standpoint, listen, my job is to come on here and talk about Georgia football, and that's what I do. And I try to keep my bias out of it. You know I love Georgia. I go to Georgia, and that Georgia holds a special place in my heart. For the purpose of the job, I try to keep that out of it as much as possible, and I'm just trying to talk about Georgia football objectively. Well, of course I'd want to see that. Of course I'd want to see a Georgia-Alabama national championship. I think that's if they're the two best teams in college football, that's what it's going to be. But if it's Ohio State and Clemson, or Ohio State and USC, or Utah, whoever it is, I want to watch the best game possible for the national championship. I just think that happens to be, man, I'm not going to predict that part yet. That was a little bit of a tangent, but I think as far as the SEC championship goes, they're the two best teams in the SEC, and there's a huge drop-off after Georgia and Bama. Ryan Clear from Dog Post. Make sure you're checking out these books. Make sure you're checking out the TikTok at Dog Post, the Instagram at Dog Post, all that good stuff. The Twitter at Dog_Post. It's all different, but it's all the same. We'll see you there, and we'll see you at the site.